Alright guys, back with another Knicks box video. As mentioned previously, I'll show a variety of things from here over time. Today I wanted to focus on a few specific things. First being a few from the front here. Wanted to show these because they're a bit different from the norm. They're not players. First, here's an autograph of Mike Breen, longtime announcer with the Knicks. Also been doing a lot of random NBA games through the years on ESPN and ABC, but we had him first. Again, longtime announcer with the Knicks on the MSG network, doing games with Walt Frazier, and still does a decent amount of the Knicks games, but again, now the rest of the NBA gets to enjoy him too. So thought it was cool that Goodwin Champions put him in that set, so grabbed that about a year ago. Next one here is Spike Lee, Knicks super fan. So again, just thought it was pretty cool that Obsidian put him in that set. And there's a bunch of different ones. I think the regular one has a black border and there's like a purple border, but of course had to get the orange number to 99. So again, just a fun different thing for the Knicks PC. And here's a former Knicks coach, Jeff Van Gundy. One of my favorite Knicks coaches of all time. So much so that over the years, every time they fired a coach, I would kind of hope that they would bring him back, but never really happened. I think he's a little too old school for the current NBA, but again, thought it was cool that Fleer put him in that set, so got that many years ago. I think I'm one of the few people that likes coach cards and manager cards. Wish they would do it more often, put them in not just autograph sets, but base sets too. Here's a base Van Gundy from Hoops, 96-97 Hoops. So not sure if that counts as a Van Gundy rookie. Victor, the rookie specialist, needs to get on that case. So that's those. The other thing I wanted to focus on in this video was a request from my buddy BK, Waxx Stacks. He specifically wanted to see some Charles Oakley and Anthony Mason, so I'm gonna fulfill that request. So let me grab those. I know more or less where they're at. They're back to back in this section here. So I'm gonna grab those and grab a seat because I'm doing this first part standing. I'll start with Anthony Mason because I only have two for him. First, here's an auto from Panini Timeless Treasures. Great product, really nice on-card auto, numbered to 299. And then this one I think might have been a Ricky Russo purchase, but can't quite remember. We have Anthony Mason on the front and J.R. Smith on the back. I like J.R. Smith, kind of a polarizing guy throughout his career. Played with a lot of energy and enthusiasm, but problem was he couldn't always keep that under control and would play kind of wild at times and make some mistakes. And then of course Mason kind of embodies the 90s Knicks gritty play style, and that was numbered to 49. Now here are a few for Oakley. I have two of these same relic cards from Court Kings. I think I bought one and one was gifted to me in a care package in my early days on YouTube. They're each numbered to 199. Yeah, nice looking relic card there. And then a few autos. First, here's the most basic looking one from Hoops. And then this one's a little bit better from Totally Certified. Nice camo shine. Numbered to 25. And then these next two are my favorites. Hard to pick which one is my number one favorite between them. But these I gotta get out of the top loaders to really give you a good look at them. First off, check that one out. Sweet on-card gold ink, number to 25. Great patch there. From Panini Noir, as Ricky Russo used to call it. But yeah, love that one. And this other one, I think I love it even more. From Panini Select. Even though this one's sticker, but got the whole signature on there, which is usually my requirement for a sticker auto. Nice gold shine, another beautiful patch. That one's numbered to 10. Yeah, I love both of these. I've posted them on Instagram multiple times because I love looking at them. Like every few weeks, every few months, I bring them out and take a look at them, take a few photos of them. And was debating whether or not to do this, but I'll also show the binder cards I have for these guys. There isn't too much, and they're next to each other in the binder too. So here's some Oakley. Didn't start with the Knicks, started with the Bulls. But obviously here we start with his Knicks stuff. And these two are different. I think one of them's like the Spanish or Italian or something. They had a bunch of those different upper deck cards in 91, 92. Yeah, Oakley and Mason both. Again, they perfectly fit into that 90s Knicks system. Two enforcer types. Wemby definitely would not have got away with the stuff he was doing if these two guys were on the court. But they weren't just enforcer types. They both worked really hard to become really well-rounded players. Oakley developed a really nice mid-range jumper. And they would occasionally put him into some insert sets. Mason, I don't think, made it into too many insert sets. And here I have a bunch of empty spaces. I think I did that because I have some stuff from this year on my TCDB want list, so eventually when I get those I can just pop them right in there without having to reorganize everything. Yeah, some more of my favorite products from that era. Another nice insert. As I've said before, I love these types of shots from up above like that. There he is with Shaq. There's Rodman, Chris Mullin, Dave Robinson. That's part of the fun of looking at some of these old NBA cards to see who's lingering in the background. And yeah, I think we're getting close to the end of his time with the Knicks. Yeah, this is the last page here. This is from 98-99. That was the year that he was traded to the Raptors. So that's one of his final Knicks playing days cards. These came after his playing days, like a decade after. And even to this day, they still put him into some sets. Now here's some Mason stuff. Don't have quite as many pages for Mason. There are a couple rookie cards. Even though he played with a couple teams briefly before the Knicks, didn't have a rookie card until he came to the Knicks. And just some other early 90s stuff. Yeah, he didn't last with the Knicks quite as long as Oakley. Cool Panini sticker there. But again, developed into a really solid player with the Knicks. Had a good post game. He also developed a good mid-range jumper. Even ran a little bit of the point forward back before that even became a big thing. And yeah, this is the last page for him already. You see the Hornets logo. That's when he was traded for Larry Johnson. And so yeah, I have some of his cards with the Hornets and with other teams. Same thing with Oakley. I have stuff of him with other teams, but as usual with my team binders, I only keep the stuff where they're wearing my team's jersey. So if they're wearing any other team's jersey, it goes in a separate binder. So that's it for them, but more Knicks videos to come, along with other things. I won't only be doing Knicks videos forever now, but still a lot I'd like to show. And BK requesting these two guys kind of gave me an idea. This might be a good way to get through some of the stuff. So if anyone wants to request a Knicks player, past or present, let me know, and whatever I have of that player, I'll show it. So catch you guys next time.